Unit 3 Study Guide, questions 17 and 18. Question 17, this looks like one that's been a released item from the PARCC test because it's multiple choice. Okay, and the wording in it is is a little bit funny, and I think it's the wording is the only thing that makes this difficult. It says Andy currently runs a total of 9 miles each week. Okay, so they threw total in there, but that's what he's currently running. He plans to increase the number of miles he runs each week by 2.5 miles. That's an interesting way to say it. I think normally we'd say he plans to increase the number of miles he runs by 2.5 miles each week. And that makes a little bit more sense. That would mean that in 1 week he would add 2.5 kilometers, 2.2 5/10. In 2 weeks, he would add twice that. He would add 5 miles. In 3 weeks, he would add 3 times that. Yeah, that I think makes a little bit more sense than their wording. Until he is running a total of 30 miles. Now there, again, they use the word total, but that's the one that I think is going to be critical because it says, which equation can be used to determine X, the number of weeks that it will take Andy to reach his goal? So we're missing the number of weeks. They asked us to use an X, so X is the number of weeks, and like I said, it's 2.5 miles every week, so it times the number of weeks, so it's 2.5, that's a bad dot there, times X, and he's going to add that to the 9 that he's already running, and he wants to end up with a total of 30 miles each week. That's what our equation should look like. 9 plus 2 5/10 X equals 30. That's it, letter C. Okay, number 18. Number 18, Ms. Ritter went shopping at the commissary. Her total bill was 17. Total, a critical word here. She bought a gallon of ice cream for $5. Okay, so she got a gallon of ice cream for $5. Sorry, I have to go off the screen. And assorted individual toppings, which cost $1.50 each. Again, $1.50 for each, so one of them would cost $1.50, 2 would cost $3, 3 would cost $4.50. That's that multiplying thing. And again, and then finally the question, how many different toppings did she buy? How many? That is a number of toppings that we're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and use N and say N is equal to the number of toppings. Alright, so now writing our equation, this problem is worth 2 points. One for writing an equation that represents this situation, and the other point for getting the correct answer. So our situation is we've got a total. To get a total, you get a total by adding things together. So something being added together has to equal this $17 that she spent. What got added together? It says a gallon of ice cream for $5 and assorted individual toppings which cost $1.50 each. Well, the number of toppings we don't know, but we know they cost $1.50 each. We'd multiply that times the number of toppings to get the cost. So that's $1.50 times N, and you would add that to the $5 she spent on the gallon of ice cream. Those added together would give her total bill, give you the total bill for the shopping. We normally would write that as 5 plus, you could drop that 0, 1.5 N equals 17. So important thing, you get 1 point for writing the equation. Okay, and it needs to be an equation that represents this situation. The problem some kids have is that they start trying to solve it first. No, we're going to solve it now. The thing is, if you were trying to solve it, you're doing the same exact steps that we do that we're asking you to show here, which is to isolate the variable, get rid of this part that's being added or subtracted first, the piece that's over here with the n but doesn't have the n attached to it. That's a positive 5. So to get rid of a positive 5, you would subtract 5. Whatever you did on this side of the equal sign, do the same on this side. And you end up with 1 5/10 n equals 5 from 17 is 12. N is being multiplied by 1 5/10. To undo multiplying, you divide by 1 5/10. Divide this side by 1 5/10. On this side, you will get your n. Your equal sign continues to come straight down. This side should do the long division. 12 being divided by 1 5/10. First thing, make this into a whole number, so you'd move the decimal point 1 to the right. The decimal point on 12 would be at the end of it, to the right of it. You need to move that decimal point 1 place, and that would be like this, moving it 1 place, fill in with a 0. The decimal point is going to go straight up, and now you just need to divide. You might want to make a multiplication chart over here for 15, although actually your multiplication chart does have 15 in it, and I think you will find that 15 times 8 is exactly 120. 8 times 5 would be 40. Put down a 0, carry a 4. 8 times 1 is 8, plus the 4 does give me 12. Subtract, I get 0. That must be it. She bought 8. Guys, it's a word problem. Label it. She bought 8 different toppings. Or, as in a sentence, you would say, yes, she bought 8 different toppings. And that is the second point you get. 1 for the equation right here, and then 1 for your solution right there.